On the road to the riches, cause it's all about the paper. Now buckle up your seats and prepare for the journey. Let the music ease your soul, grab a spliff and start burning. Relax with us and take a trip to the heavens. And come and spend a day in the 757. Hydro, the base and blood
testing.
Exactly what I need when I'm blowing.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy D. It's the after show, but later. And you know what? I think I hit the tiny URL and it didn't work from Patreon. You know what, Lisa? I appreciate you. Patreon might be wrong. So what I did earlier when I was testing it out, I typed it in tinyurl.com/TASBL. Yeah. So what's going on, everybody? Let's see. So today I had like 3 pages of notes, right? Not complaining. I appreciate it, Lisa. Lisa said she's not complaining. She's just letting me know. So I appreciate it, everybody. I'm going to actually work on that. And, you know, it was something that I figured out today. Thank goodness, because it's something I've been trying to do. The only thing that would make it doper is if you guys could get like a text. That'd be dope, right? If you got, it would just send you a text. Then you don't have to worry about freaking going to the URL or. But now you have it saved. If you just have it bookmarked, tinyurl.com/TASBL. And if you ever forget what the slash is, just think, I want to check out the after show, but later. TASB. Boom, right there. tinyurl.com/TASBL. Always on patreon.com as well. But yeah, might have to work out some kinks, but here I am. Again, I had like 3 pages of notes. Shout out to Luis. Just sent me a picture. I wasn't able to respond, but sent me a picture watching this. So what's up to Luis, to Lily, to Steph, to everybody that's checking it out over at their pad. And yeah, what's up to everybody right here in the chat? I love you guys. As always, Andrew, Lisa. It looks like we have 500,000 people on right now. Topanga is dancing right now, dude. I'm going to have to watch that when I don't have an audience. All right. And I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying you guys, I can't watch it with an audience. What if I start drooling? And then you're going to hear Joey Lawrence, whoa. No. Not today. Today, it's about you guys, the after show, but later. I had a few pages of notes all typed up and ready. Forgot to print them out, right? And so now I have a few of the manual notes that I typed up. Had a very productive day today. Actually woke up early, went for a morning walk. It's cooling down here. It's not like 112, 114 anymore. It's only like 99, 100-ish. Went for a morning walk. On lunch, came home, did some yard work, freaking jumped in the shower real quick, went back to work. I wanted to do all that kind of stuff so I could be here and give you guys my full attention. So here I am right now, Lisa says. And if you guys don't know that, Covino and Rich were actually talking about references. I don't know if this is Lisa's right now, but right now was one of George Lopez's albums back in the day. It was, I remember trading my friend Kiwi the hold on. I remember trading my friend Kiwi the Right Now album. He gave me that CD and I gave him Team Leader. So we did a little swap. But yeah, that was a Right Now or Later was a George Lopez one. I can't believe that Rich didn't know that Masputo and Can Never Do Nothing. I can't believe Rich didn't know that those were George Lopez references, but I guess everybody has their own knows and do nots and knows and don'ts. So actually, I have a no and a do not. I do have overpromised pulled up over here, so we could probably hopefully get to that in a little bit. But there was the Charlie Sheen doc, aka Charlie Sheen on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, it's a good watch. To me, it went a little long. But there were like 2 1.5 hour episodes, so it went a little long. I realized something because Charlie Sheen has been a staple in pop culture our entire lives, right? And And I didn't realize until the doc that the only thing I've seen Charlie Sheen in, well, actually, there's two things, but the only thing I've seen that I'm like, oh, that's Charlie Sheen, is 2.5 Men. They were showing all clips from all these movies, and I was like, never seen that. Didn't realize I've never seen that. I've never seen that. I've heard that. I've never seen that. The only one that I have seen was Ferris Bueller. And I didn't even know it was freaking Sheen when I saw it. I've seen that movie like 10 years ago. I don't know. Something like that. And when I watched it, no idea it was Charlie Sheen. And so the only two things I've ever seen Charlie Sheen in, besides interviews and, winning Tiger Blood, swing, the only things I've seen him in is, what about Major League? Luis is asking. Never seen Major League. Never seen Major League. I think, if I remember, they're wearing, it looks like freaking Boston Red Sox uniforms almost, right? There's some blonde chick that's famous. I think Rosie O'Donnell's in it. And Madonna's in it too, I think. And Charlie Sheen, I guess. I guess I know all that, but I've never seen it. So never seen anything besides 2.5 Men where I'm like, hey, there's Charlie Sheen. If you guys can, list some more movies in the chat, because I'm trying to think of if there's anything else that I've seen. But when the movie was on, or when the documentary was on, I was watching it going, never seen that, never seen that. Never saw the movie where he put a freaking ice cube up his butt. I don't remember if that was a money grab or not money grab, but he was just needed money for his craziness. Navy SEALs. Never seen it. Is that the one where he wears like a captain's uniform or something? Or was that when he was on the plane? I lied. Two things. I did see him on like an episode or two of Friends when he was dating Phoebe, I think. Phoebe or Courtney Cox. He was dressed like a sailor in that. Maybe that's what I'm confusing. I'd never seen those Navy SEALs. What else was he in? Platoon. I've never seen that. My godfather loves that movie. And when I was a kid, every time I would go by his house, he'd be like, Danny, look at Platoon. Oh my goodness. He would tell me about how great the movie was. VHS, right? Back in the day. Red Dawn. Never even heard of Red Dawn. I thought that was isn't that like a, Red Dawn? Isn't that the freaking, damn it. What's that? What up, Dave? Good to Hot Shots, Money Talks. Never seen Hot Shots. Is Money Talks, that was Charlie Sheen in Money Talks? Wasn't that freaking the dude from Shawshank in Money Talks? Then I have seen Money Talks. I know that. But I thought it was the dude from freaking Shawshank, the main character, Andy Dufresne. What the hell's his name? Anyway, I can't think of his name right now. But I haven't seen Hot Shots. I don't even know what the hell that is. That about basketball or a pharmacy? Is it about flu shots or basketball shots? WW3 movies with teenagers fighting with the Russians. That one's Red Dawn. You're thinking nothing to lose. Oh, maybe I haven't seen Money Talks. Damn. Chris Tucker. No, you're okay. No, you're thinking of the one with Martin Lawrence. No, Martin's not in Nothing to Lose. Isn't it Chris Tucker? Or is it Martin? Am I confusing my Charlie Sheen with my Andy Dufresne and my black dudes? I'm just as bad as the people that were at the freaking CRC calling EJ Reed Lonnie and vice versa. I am thinking of Money Talk or Nothing to Lose. Damn, I thought it was called Money Talks. Then what the hell is Money Talks about? I don't even remember Money Talks. I thought it was Nothing to Lose this whole time. Battery. My battery is running low on my second laptop over here. Look at this. I just got to make sure the stream is going okay. But apparently the battery's going to die on that one. Okay, let me see. Isn't Shots is a spoof of Top Gun? Shots, nothing. I don't know. Anyway, so back to Charlie Sheen. I've freaking seen. At this point, then I think it is only Ferris Bueller, and I didn't know it was him, and freaking 2.5 Men. And it's so crazy though because I didn't realize that until if you would have told me, a month ago, hey, have you ever seen Charlie Sheen in anything? I'd be like, yeah, I've seen him a million times on TV. Let me see. Now that I think about it, I can't really remember seeing any of his movies either, is what Chris is saying. And no, and it's funny because I think to this day, if you're flipping through cable or whatever, he's on there all the time. So you assume I've seen him on TV all the time, obviously, right? He's in oh my goodness. Okay. I don't really remember Ferris Bueller. I vaguely remember it. Like, he fakes sick, all that good stuff. I remember the movie. But when they show Charlie Sheen, I was like, oh, okay, I really don't remember that. I guess, he was in it. And now Andrew's saying that he was in Ferris Bueller for like 2 minutes. So, I mean, if that was as big as his part was, I mean, I don't even know if I can really count that one. Hot Shots, I meant, is a spoof of Top Gun. Funky Monkey. I'm hee. Funky Monkey's over here telling us that she's freaking Michael Jackson. But anyway, I'm just kidding. I knew you meant you were here. But yeah, so when I really thought about it, I was like, wait, just because when he's naming all the movies and they're going through his career, and he was crazy during this movie, he was sober during this movie, during Anger Management, blah blah blah. I never even saw Anger Management. I think I've seen like an episode or so. Maybe I did see it. I don't know. But I know for sure when it comes to his movies, never seen a whole lot of them. So let me know if I'm alone. I know Chris is saying that he really hasn't seen any, but it looks like I'm the minority here. But you know what? Actually, some other takeaways from the documentary. We got to see Covino and Rich in the documentary. If you guys haven't seen it, rewatch it. It's when they first start talking about Tiger Blood winning and all that good stuff. So we got to see Covino and Rich in it, even though it was their names that we got to see because they were like Tiger Blood on Sirius XM radio. And you see at the bottom, it's freaking listed Covino and Rich is like another show or whatever. But hey, were your name? I know you're like, that doesn't mean they were in it. Were your names in it? Did I see Magical Mexican in it? Did I see Andrew Sims in it? No, I didn't. There's random phone ringing in your bag. Oh, hold on. Give me this. Thank you. Okay, go back. So my daughter gives me this, right? And she says, there's a random phone ringing in your bag. So this morning, all right, I wake up early. Okay, you can go now, homie. Okay, so all right, well you get to hear the story too. Joining the jump onto the stream, Ken. So this morning I'm going for a walk, right? And I'm like, I'm almost done with it. I'm like, man, this sucks. Why can't I be not fat and just freaking? I'm like, I gotta go for walks and watch what I eat to look like this. Can you imagine if I didn't? They'd have to cut me out of my house. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking about when I'm walking this morning. I'm like, all right, here we are. Got to go to work today. Got a million things to do. I got to stream tonight. And then I look, and I go, what the? I thought it was like a case from a phone or something. I pick it up. It's an iPhone. The freaking screen is shattered. It looks literally like it was on the street and a car ran over it. So but the back of it, I pulled the case off, and the back of it is in perfect condition. So right now, my daughter walks in and she tells me, hey, she's like, there's a random phone ringing in your bag. I haven't found the right owner. I tried to put it up on our local pages, like on Facebook and it doesn't look, I think it belongs to a teenager. So I put a post, found an iPhone. It's white. This is where I found it. And if it's yours or your kids, let me know. Nobody gave a heck about it. So should I replace the screen if nobody freaking reaches out and just do like a hard reset, get a new SIM card, give it to my daughter? What the hell? You don't want a new iPhone? Okay. Well, I'd call the police. Call the police, Lisa, so they can accuse me of stealing it? Okay, let me hold on. Bust it. Oh, I'm not even going to talk about law enforcement right now because we may or may not have law enforcement in the chat. So if Ben gets to be on the show, your daughter can be too. Not true, Andrew. There used to be in the earlier episodes. It's so funny because I've looked back at earlier episodes and she's like sitting next to me coloring and stuff, and I'm over here with El Kukui talking about F this and F that, and I've been trying to work on my language, so I'm not using it so much. So it would probably be better for her to actually sit at the show now. But whatever, you live and you learn, right? All right, what up, Raffy? My homie Raffy. Yeah, so Raffy's over here with the dope lowrider. I see your stories. I watch too many crime shows, says Lisa. You know what, Lisa? I would take the phone to the police, but then what's going to happen? They start questioning me. They over here, they're like, you're a gigantic Mexican. You're posing as a white guy, right? So then I'm like, nah, I swear I'm not white. It's going to be a whole thing. It's going to, I don't even want to go down that route. It's not a crime if there isn't intent. You're attempting to give it back to the owner. If no one gets back, it's not a crime. Well, thank you, our resident law person feedback, or our resident my legal counsel. That's what I'll say, right? Our legal counsel. Anybody else have any legal counsel advice? I like Lisa so far. So far, we got 2 legal counsel people in here. Gigantic Mexican. Okay, Lisa, you laugh because I say gigantic Mexican, but it's true. So, and actually, a lot of my best friends are gigantic. One of my buddies is in here in the chat, Chris. He's freaking 6'5". Luis is in here. He's 6'2". Ralph is in here. He's just under 6 foot. And when I met Covino and Richard the first time, Covino told me, he's like, dude, you're like the biggest Mexican I've ever met. And it's probably on the air if you go and check the freaking old tapes or whatever, or recording or whatever. Okay, so Charlie Sheen. Oh, so one observation from the Charlie Sheen doc was how freaking bad Denise Richards was back in the day. Denise Richards was back in the day. In the doc, she's looked better, but when they're going back and I'm like, oh yeah, she was on Friends. She was this, she was that, she was on this, whatever. She was so bad back in the day. Just wanted to throw that out there in case. I don't know if I didn't appreciate her when I was younger because I think she's like 12 to 15 years older than me. So say I was like 10 and she was like 30 or something. I was probably like, that, you think that old chick is hot? So I was over there into Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera, right? Sitting next to Fred Durst. I'm trying to hear over who she gave head to first. But Denise Richards, looking back right now, I'm like, damn, she was bad. So shout out to Denise Richards, right? Doesn't she look the same? She does not. Badder than Topanga. You know what? Nobody's badder than Topanga, right? Except my wife, in case she's watching. However, Denise Richards, super bad. Yeah, but man, I like the documentary. Anyway, long story short, let me see. They were talking about references today on the show and where you get them from, if you ever give them credit or whatever. And and lost my train of thought. Thank you. There was one actually that I said the other day. So the other day I was at work and I forget what we were talking about. And I threw out oh, you want to talk about mama? And somebody, a colleague that's, I'll just say older than I am. She was like, white chicks. And I was like, yeah, it's so funny because I dropped that, oh, you want to talk about mama in so many conversations. And it's always like when somebody's trying to loke up or something and you're like, oh yeah, were you like, oh, you want to talk about mama or whatever. And everybody's always like, oh yeah. And then somebody might be like, oh, what's that from? Or whatever. But so shout out to my coworker. She was like, white chicks. And I was like, I didn't know you were a fan of white chicks. So, and I'm trying to be nice about people's ages and stuff. So I didn't know that was in her demo. I'll just say that. But yeah, got to check out some of the, let me see the references. What else do they have? Ads in our head, reading our minds. Okay. So let me go ahead and preface this by saying I'm a fan of white chicks. Of the movie or the women, because I know who's making that comment, and that's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. The women or the movie, both. Okay. White Chicks is a classic. My daughter just watched it. Actually, at the beginning of the year, she thought it was funny as hell. So they were talking about ads being in our head or something about predicting the future or something. I forget exactly what it was. Covino played a clip, and I'm going to preface this by saying, if you're somebody like Mauser, who I love Mauser, met him in person, super cool dude, kept taking time out to come in and BS with me and just kind of coming to find me and whatever. Loved him. Cool dude. However, when it comes to aliens, ghosts, anything like that, he's like, nope. And I used to be like that. However, I don't know. I guess I might have had some experiences in life that kind of opened me up a little bit and made me not so narrow-minded, to where I'm like, you know what? Maybe, right, for everything. For some of these conspiracy theories, for ghosts, for aliens, whatever. Maybe. That's all I'm going to say. Maybe. Right? Because you're telling me you definitely know we can't interact with ghosts or whatever, or they don't exist. You're definitely telling me that there's no aliens, there's blah, 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 blah. You're definitely telling me, right? How do you definitely know, right? I'm not saying there definitely are ghosts, aliens, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Because, there's an Eazy-E song where he's like, because I'm the E-A-Z-Y-E-N, this is the season. My cousin, his name is David, so he'd always be like, because I'm the D-A-V-I-D-N, this is the, whatever. Okay, anyway, sorry, back to it. So, how do you know? Because I'm not saying there definitely are. I'm saying maybe, right? I should call this episode Maybe, because maybe there's aliens, maybe there's ghosts. I don't know. Maybe. We've never encountered them, but you know what? My daughter's got this teacher, and they look like he, she, I don't know. We're not sure. Could be anybody. They look like they used to do a lot of drugs back in the day, right? So one day, my daughter was telling me, she's like, blah, blah, blah was, no. She was like, my teacher was saying that there's things that are here that we can't even see, but they're in our presence and all this. And I was like, is it blah, blah, blah? Like, let's call him Mr. Thompson. And she was like, it was. How did you know? And I was like, because this dude looked like he's done a lot of mushrooms, a lot of talking, a lot of dancing with the devil, right? A little wrestling with the devil. I think he's done a couple of things in his day that would make him very psychedelic. But so what I'm saying is, I'm not even a psychedelic user. However, what if is what I'm saying. So that goes back to the Covino talking about in your head, the phones, blah, blah, blah. So I had a conversation one day with somebody in this chat. Not going to say who. Go ahead and you can leave your guesses in the comments if you want. But there was one time was it Dave Grohl? Had a dream about, that's why it died. I forgot to plug it in. So I had a dream one day. whatever, it's dead. I had a dream one day about Dave Grohl. Woke up, from a nap or whatever the hell it was, and looked at my phone. And I was like, had just had a dream about Dave Grohl. Looked at my phone and opened up Facebook. Who was there? Dave Grohl, right? Or it was Andre the Giant or somebody. I don't know. Whoever. Let's say Dave Grohl. Sounds cooler. So open up my phone. Dave Grohl was there. And I was like, I was not on Facebook before I fell out. I was not, whatever. Hadn't heard about him. Nothing. Whoever the person was in my dream, nothing. Hadn't heard about them in months. Hadn't listened to Learn to Fly. Haven't listened to My Hero. Nothing. Dreamt them, woke up, looked, and there they were on my phone. So I had a conversation with somebody, and I was like, dog, you won't believe this. Our phones are in our dreams. And he was like, bro, called me bro. I counted 37 and a half times. And that last time he goes, brr, and I go, that's why that's a half. But he was like, bro, no way, bro, no way. But you know what? What I'm going to say is, what about, we don't know what's in our phones. We don't know technology. We don't know brain waves, neurology. They've done research recently where they can actually map images from brain waves and stuff. So who's to say we're not already there, right? On other research that we don't even know about, right? That's in our phones, that maybe the government's putting in our phones, right? I don't know that. You don't know that. You can't tell me you definitely do. I'm not saying it's definitely happening, but what I'm saying is maybe I dreamt Dave Grohl and it was a coincidence. I woke up and he was on my phone. Maybe it's a coincidence. However, White Chicks is on VH1 right now. Could be. It could be, Andrew. But, 10, 15 years ago, if I would have done this, Alexa, turn off the studio lights. Alexa, turn on the studio lights. Hey! All right. I feel like a dork. I just messed up my freaking stream. Why'd I do that? Now I don't know where you guys are. Oh, crap. Hold on. Let me try and fix this. If you guys are there, God bless you. I don't know what the hell happened. Well, I do know. I turned everything off. However, let me see if we're right here. Are we still here? Are we still live? Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, my goodness. All right, I'm not doing that again. However, a few years ago, do you think we could have done that? Do you think we could have just talked to our room and they do things? Oh, I need to unplug that from there. Okay. Do we, so who knows if in 20 years, 30 years, we'll be like, dog, you guys will reference. Remember episode number 305 when you were like, they might be reading our minds and they might be in our dreams. And then we were all like, you're full of it, D. Remember episode number 305? Here we are, episode number 913. That whole time it was true. I'm just saying, maybe. Womp womp. Sorry about that blackout and everything to change. Was hoping for a Gene Simmons moment. Do you guys know that story? I know some of you in the chat aren't Covino and Rich listeners. There was a Gene Simmons moment when he was on Covino and Rich. And I'm not going to say the name of the phone because I don't want mine to trip out. But say that you call your phone Roberto. And you're like, hey, Roberto, what do you call me? And it was just not working. He looked like the biggest jackass on freaking Sirius XM radio. So thank you for that one, Magical Mexican. I remember that like it was yesterday. All right, Lisa, right after my mom died, there was a Jesus blanket in my Amazon cart, but I didn't put it there. Lisa, living proof, guys, everybody. Lisa Paraggio, living proof. Didn't put it in there. You know what's crazy actually? Again, talking about things, ghosts and whatever. So, how many years ago now? 11, about almost 14 years ago, my dad passed away. Right? And it's crazy because was young and still, living at home and all that good stuff when he died. So obviously he never been in my home, right? Never met my daughter, never whatever. And I had this dream not too long ago. I say that because I'm getting older, right? It was probably like 2 years ago. But I had this dream that he came to my pad. We sat at my table, talked about everything. I think my daughter was like playing in her room or whatever. And took off. And it was just crazy because it was like when I woke up, it was like we had just had this conversation, whatever. I'm not saying we did. I'm just saying maybe, right? Because think about this. When we go to bed in this life, right, we wake up in another life. That's how I think it could be, right? So when I went to bed in this life, maybe I woke up in the life where it's a they say, no, the multiverse, right? So there's another universe where I'm here and my dad is alive and he comes and we kick it or whatever. Or maybe I go to sleep in this life and we're crossing dimensions. I don't know. All I'm saying, come on, guys, everybody at once, put it in the chat. Maybe. So for everybody to quickly dismiss our phones being in our head. Or another, I like Covino's other argument was, is it that our phones are in our head? Or is it that we are in our phones? Or he said it much more articulate than I did. However, see that? A funky monkey lost her mom recently. She said she just had a dream that her mom came and visited her baby, her new baby. I'm not saying Funky Monkey's mom did it come and chill with the baby. But what I am saying, maybe. Andrew says, so your dad is on Earth 2? On Earth 2? Yeah. Maybe. Again, Andrew, maybe. Right? I don't know. Anything is possible. You know what? I like it. I like most of the people in the chat because you guys are open, right? I think if we all got together, we all sat around and we freaking did some psychedelics, I think we'd all have a good ass time. Did you guys ever watch Dewey Cox? Like the multiverse? Yeah, I think so. Did you guys ever see Dewey Cox where he's chilling with the Beatles and you're like, there's no limit to what you can imagine. And then they do these psychedelics or something and they end up freaking in a cartoon and shit. All right, let's see. I work out 4 days a week. Every morning before I start my shift at work, I'm usually the only one there because it's a gym at his place of work. And most of my partners are still finishing their shifts. Okay, anyway, one morning I felt something strange. I looked up at a window and I saw a face of what appeared like to be Jesus. I couldn't believe it. I looked through that window many, many times and never see it. Anything like that. Later that day, I got a call from my stepsister, told me that her mom had just died. Come on now. That's all I'm saying. Right? In the chat, Chris. Maybe. Right? I'm going to have to make a drop over here that we can actually just hit every once in a while. Whoa. Maybe, right? We got to hit that. You like that Covino and Rich drop? Do you guys remember when they would do best ofs where it was like best of year 10? Maybe. That's what, and I love that I have this drop. I didn't know I had this on here. So, yeah, I guess whenever we switch subjects, I should do that. So off of aliens and time travel and phones in our head onto something different. My mom said when she was a kid, they were at her dad's funeral. She and a cousin saw her dad peek his head through the door and then leave. Again,
On the road.
maybe. That's all I'm saying. Is that we're probably all full of it. However, maybe we're not. Some people, oh, Lisa, I could be here all day with you guys sitting here and talking like this. I love this. Lisa's like, some people would say that Funky Monkey's mom is actually her baby. Oh my goodness. Talk about my world is just, something clever, right? Go ahead. Fill in the blank. Lisa says that she 100% believes Chris. And you know what? I believe him. I believe that it happened to him and he believes it happened to him. Did it actually happen? Maybe. Anyway, so dead people. I have my okay. Oh, you know what? Okay, so I was talking to Andrew Sims earlier. Right, not trying to give all our business over here. But I told him like I appreciate that. And I was gonna say I appreciate you. Because I do. Right? All of you guys in the chat, I appreciate you jumping in, coming and spending part of your day with me over here. I have a lot going on with life, right? I have a lot going on with work, with my kid, with this, with that, with A, with B, with C. But I still like to make time to come and kick it and hang out with all of you guys. It's always fun. I love it. I have a great time. And I truly appreciate that. And I appreciate you guys. But what I hate when like there's like either those like kids 15, 16, 17 or a dude my age with the douchebag sunglasses, right? Where he's looking through the top of them, got a stupid gold chain and whatever. And you hold the door for him and he's on his phone. He's like, hey, appreciate you. Dog, you do not appreciate me. You appreciate the fucking act that I did by holding the door open for you. You don't appreciate me. You don't know me, right? I could pop you in the head right now. Appreciate you, bro. I can't. Where they wear the sunglasses like this, right? They're looking up at the top while they're on the phone. Appreciate you, bro. Dog, you don't appreciate me. So whenever somebody says appreciate you, it's always, to me, it sounds condescending. So, like Andrew Sims, where I told him, I'm like, bro. So I changed it to, I appreciate it. I really do. I appreciate all of you. So if you ever get an I appreciate you from me, let's see. Right? You're going to know that it's legit and I mean it. And I'm not one of these douches with, on their phone, holding up a pretend phone with their ear and looking up through their glasses at you. Appreciate you, bro. First of all, I'm not related to you, so stop calling me bro. I'm not your big dog. I'm not your chief. I'm not your boss. But I could be your daddy. So don't call me any of that. Just, hey, thanks. Boom. Hey, appreciate it. That's all. It needs to end at that. You don't appreciate me, so don't say appreciate you. Don't, you know what? that happens, I just want to slam the door, hit them in the ass. Don't let the door hit you, where the good door put a crack in your ass, right? Or whatever the saying is. I appreciate it too. See? Appreciate that. Ralph, appreciate you. Right? Lisa, appreciate you. Right? None of this. Oh, man. I could already see the hair gel in their hair and the gold glasses with the really dark tint. That's why they can't. That's why they have their glasses lowered. They can't freaking see you out of them. They're so dark. They got to lower them to look at you. Dog, get some normal ass sunglasses and be a grown up. I give it to the kids that are 17, 18, 19. You're a kid. You're a moron. Right? Go ahead. You know, you still have plenty of mistakes to make. But when you're my age, your Lisa's age, your Funky's age, your Magical Chris's age, Ralph's age, all right? Get some normal sunglasses, right? Get some normal manners is what I'm saying, right? So appreciate you. I'm sorry, man. I don't. All right. Ads in our head. Oh my goodness. This needs a Rich is a moron. Okay? I'm just going to say it. Love Rich. Met him a handful of times. Cool dude. But he's off his rocker. He lost his marbles. He's, let me know in the chat what you're saying is for Rich. You could say he's a beautiful man. Just let me know what you think about him in the chat. He thinks that's what she said, like, came from The Office? Bruh. I'm going to turn into my daughter. Bruh. We were saying that in junior high school. In 5th, 6th grade, when you start learning about the birds and the deeks. You know? We were saying that back in the... She's like, oh, I'm hungry. That's what she said. Right? You start doing that, that's what she said joke as soon as you learn about the birds and the deeks. And that's where I'm like, Rich, is he playing it up for the radio? Oh, no, it was The Office. It was Michael Scott. No, the whole joke on The Office is that it's like a street joke, right? Oh, what's the difference between jam and jelly? Oh, you can't jelly my nuts down your throat. That's basically the same thing, right? So how's Rich going to sit here and be like, oh no, well, actually, you know what? Let me look it up. He has his laptop now, so he's looking up everything. Oh, yeah. Right here, it says, ChatGPT says, it got popularized in 2005 by the first episode of The Office, and then Steve Carell actually made... No! I don't care what your Google says. ChatGPT, Copilot, Grok. I don't care. They don't know my life. That's like ChatGPT saying, I appreciate you. You don't know ChatGPT. You don't know me. You don't understand the things I've been to, the struggles, the scars on my body, right? You don't know. So don't you tell me, ChatGPT, about what that's where she said came from. Because you don't know. Nobody's even using you anymore, ChatGPT. Right? You think because you're the OG that you're it? No. People are on Copilot. People are on Base 44. People are on Otter AI. People are on Opus Pro. Right? People are... So don't tell me that it came from... That's what she said came from The Office. I'm just telling you guys, it didn't. And I don't care if you believe me in the chat right here. People literally... just be thankful for the acknowledgement. People literally dropped... Oh, yeah, it's a previous conversation. My bad. But what I don't... Oh, actually, you know what? There's another one. It was from, let me see, what was it? Like, was it like D's Nuts or something? That Covino has been saying since like 92? It was something like that. And then Rich is like, oh yeah, well, old school invented that. I'm like, old school invented that in like 2003? Again, I'm turning into my daughter. Bruh. Old school invented these nuts or whatever the hell joke they have on there. It just bothers me when I can't tell. But you know what though? Rich is a genius. Because I just thought of something. What do you want to do with content? Evoke emotion. Right? You want the engagement, you want the watch time. But the best thing you can do is evoke emotion. And what? I haven't been this fired up since the freaking Clinton administration. And what? So I guess, Rich, you know what? Do we have an applause over here? I don't even know. Let me see. No, but we have this.
Are you ready?
Triple H was on Kill Tony last night, so I got to throw that out there. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's actually the Making the Band theme song. Check it out. Okay, so Covino was talking about Twisted Sister. I don't know if this has been, if this was a week ago, a month ago, or whatever. I just found it on my notes, and I was like, hey, forgot my other notes at work. Got to go off of these bad boys. Check this. Look how I take this, dog. I take this seriously. Look at it. I have spreadsheets, dog. Look at my notes. You want to see about being an adult? You have spreadsheets with notes. This is how adults, dog. Look at that. Look at this. After show information right here. Spreadsheets, baby. But so Covino's talking about Twisted Sister, right? That's twisted. Like the tea, right? That people drink. So the reason why I'm saying Covino has to go, because if I remember correctly, on my notes at least, it says, should Covino go to Twisted Sister, right? But there's not as much slurring in it when they say it. That's just me. How else can I be unique, right? You feel me? You feel me? Which I really want. My friend Alex, when we were in high school, we had AIM, right? So you'd message somebody, right? They'd get online, you hear the door open, and you'd look at your AIM, like, who just walked in the room? Then, all right, I'm going to crash. I'm going to dip. You'd hear the door close. My friend Nico, we'd be in like a group chat, and my friend Nico would be like, all right, man, well, I got to go to sleep. All right, later. And then he would turn on like invisible mode and be like, hey, D, I'm still here. It's Nico. Like, dog, I see your screen name. You don't got to tell me that. But, so anyway, Covino needs to go see Twisted Sister because my wife grew up watching Carrie Underwood on American Idol, right? So her family was huge. Her family was huge American Idol fans, and they watched every season. Well, when the season Carrie Underwood came out, my wife was like, I love her, right? From the beginning, her first audition was like, I love that girl, whatever. I pick her to win, right? The whole season. Followed her. She won or didn't win. I don't know the hell. I know she's a star now, but usually sometimes they don't win, right? Anyway, so she's like, grew up loving Carrie Underwood, followed her whole career. No, you know what? I like Carrie Underwood. She's like Hillary Duff. She's not a hoe. Her whole career. And for my wife's birthday, my mother-in-law took her to go see Carrie Underwood. And my wife was like, she was telling me, she was like, just knowing that, like, the journey that I went through and all that good stuff about her life and followed Carrie Underwood and this and this and this. She's like, I guess that's like how you feel whenever like we go see O-Town. And I'm like, 100%. We watched them week to week. getting from, it was a whole audition of thousands of people. Then it was down to the top 100. Then it was down to the top 25, right? And that's where you had Junior, Ikaika, the other dude, the black dude that came out on American Idol later, this named Yakum something, whatever. You had all these people. Then you had Dan Miller, Jacob Underwood, all those ton of people. We got to see them go from thousands to hundreds to 25 to 8. To then Paul left, and we now had 7. And they picked out of the 7, they got it down to 5. Ikaika said, guys, I can't be here anymore. I'm a mama's boy. Ikaika left. Bring in Dan Miller. O-Town. Boom. Right? So, all of that. We go to see O-Town now, and they're like, right? I stand out like a sore thumb, right? I'm gigantic. I'm a dude, right? I look manly as hell. They're like, bro, right? They recognize me now. Fist bumps. Hey, how are the kids? Hey, Kennedy's rowing on, man, right? So my wife's like, when we go see them, that's how you feel. The way she felt when she went to see Carrie Underwood. So I tell you all of that and gave you the history of making the band. Sorry about that. Just to tell you, Covino needs to go see Twisted Sister because he's going to go. If he doesn't have anybody to go with them, I'll go with them. I love music. I love all music. Chris got me in a freaking Children of Bodom, Cradle of Filth, right? He got me in a Lamb of God, right? Omerta, right? I love all music, right? If I was a flower in an island, free, be my sweet honeybee, right? Anything, right? I love music. I love live music. So Covino needs to go see Twisted Sister. So right now, Covino, if you're listening to this, you need to go. I don't know what the hell that means. Does it mean he's making an M? YMCA. Okay. Anyway, what I'm saying is Covino needs to go see Twisted Sister. And if you need anybody to go with you, Covino, I'm down. Now, we were... So, Rich was being made fun of this week. Can we have a moment of silence for Rich? But, originally, it came out where Rich does workout. Chris said earlier, he goes to the gym 4 days a week. Rich came out of the gym closet and told us that he lifts with 15-pound weights. Lisa says, my parents wouldn't let me go to see Twisted Sister when I was a kid. Is it because they look different? I'll just say that, right? Not trying to get kicked off of YouTube. Is it because they got was it because of that? I don't know, but what was I saying before that, Lisa? I got thrown off and I had to act like I remembered, but I didn't. I feel like that's okay. He's old. For him to go see. Wait. I feel like that's okay. He's old. Like it's okay for what? For him to want to go see Twisted Sister? Or no, damn, my bad. I get it now. Rich, 15s. Cool. Okay, back. We're back at it. But Rich was saying that he was using those to do shoulder workouts like freaking, right? Like shoulder raises and whatever, and raises, not racist. He was doing. So what the hell's wrong with 15s? Because he lifts. Thank you guys. I can't bench the bar nowadays without my shoulder going out at rep 5. Yeah, everybody has their own path, right? Some go left, some go right. If you're spot, you go both ways. Right? So, if you know what, people are bagging on him, but especially for a shoulder workout, these people that are, and a lot of people, I guarantee you, a lot of people that were lifting that were ego lifting, right? You know what ego lifting is, where you go, right? You're not, right? If you're sitting there and you're lift, boom, right? Just like when you're curling, right? Are you, or are you letting your lift, right? What are you doing? Because if you're not curling 50 pounds, I'll tell you that. That's not curling. I'm not going to sit here and lie to your face. You're not curling 50 pounds if you're doing that, right? If you're sitting there, and I saw a fellow Carl post something on his Facebook, and it was him at the gym, and he was right. He's that hold number, and people were like, in the chat, his homies were like, I don't know him like that, so I wasn't. And again, I wasn't about to say nothing because hey, get your buff on, homie, right? Come on, Mr. Muscles, go ahead and cool, whatever. But if you wanted a more effective workout, he would have gone down, 10 pounds, and actually let his bicep do the lifting. Daniel, you got sausage fingers. My fingers are not. It's because they were close to the camera, dog. Look at this. These hands are beautiful. Look at these bad boys right here. Look at. Can you guys do this? Are you guys' fingers double jointed? Anyway, and they're not sausages, all right, dog. They're like little smokies. Actually they're gigantic. So you know what, Chris? I'm gonna say it. Eat shit. Sausage fingers, dog. Does that mean you want to eat them, Chris? Is that what you're telling me? You want these in your hand? You want these in your mouth? You could have just told me that, dog. I'll throw some barbecue sauce on these bad boys and feed you. Is that what you're trying to tell me? You could have just, you know what? I got work tomorrow. But if you want me to, sauce these bad boys up, cook some huevos for you, I could do that too. So let me know. Let me know right here. Oh my, Funky Monkey says. Have you guys seen that meme where it says when she says what them fingers do, and it has a dude with like 12 little freaking like a pterodactyl or some shit on his finger, or like a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and the rest are like the feet and the hands. And it says like when she says what them fingers do. Oh my god, that shit makes me laugh. I showed my mom. I thought that was the funniest shit I've ever seen. But yeah. So anyway. Your boy D, sausage fingers and all, Chris. All right, I think sausages are beautiful. So whatever. Was gonna go through overpromise today. Didn't even get to use my overpromise screen. I didn't get to do any of that. But it's because you guys in the chat were so damn active today. It's your boy D. It's the after show, but later. Remember, if you guys type in tinyurl.com/TASBL, you're always going to find me here. I'm going to be streaming every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Every Tuesday. So you know what? You don't need to wait for a notification. If you're on Patreon, you can join me on Patreon. I'll be sending out those notifications. You should get that too. However, if it's a Tuesday, it's been a long day, you're like, oh my goodness, Daniel's live, right? I forgot. Boom. You just go to tinyurl.com/TSBL, and I'm going to be like, hey, Andrew Fournier just got here. That's what I'm going to be saying, stuff like that, okay? So tinyurl.com/TASBL. It's your boy D. I will see you guys eventually. Later.
On the road to the riches, cause it's all about the paper. Now buckle up your seats and prepare for the journey. Let the music ease your soul, grab a spliff and start burning. Relax with us and take a trip to the heavens, and come and spend a day in the 757.